Well, Captain Chesley Sullenberger, also known as Sully, became a folk hero in 2009 by landing a plane in the Hudson River that you just saw right down the block from where we sit. All 155 people on board were saved.
Needless to say, he knows a few things about bravery, a few things about leadership, and he has now written a book about those qualities. It is called Making a Difference, Stories of Vision and Courage from America's Leaders. Sully, welcome back.
Well, it's great to be with all three of you at one time. I'm honored.
You have no chance.
It's a tag team match.
Yes, indeed. Sum it up for us, in a sense. I mean, what was it about your experience, your training, your instincts that enabled you to lead to safety at a moment of crisis?
These are important concepts I've thought about and wondered about it my entire life. It's been a personal quest for me. And of course, after the mind-bending 3 years that I've had to go amazing places, meet incredible people and people who have made a difference in others' lives. And I had to tell these compelling, fun, and inspiring stories that they told me that they were shared with us.
Well, they want to know your story too. So back to my question, which is, what was it, in a sense? Leadership has to do with defining moments as well.
It does. But, you know, it starts with core values and the willingness to actually live by them. It starts with, as many of the interview subjects in the book say, being able to check your ego at the door and do things to serve a cause greater than just your own needs.
No, you said that it all boiled down for you, that this one moment, this 3 minutes and 38 seconds, was really sort of a big reflection on your career. Did you find with the people that you interviewed that everybody has that moment where you have one defining thing that says, okay, I'm a leader?
Some did and some didn't. For some it was more, they ended up there sort of by accident. They never had the ambition to be, but the way they had lived their lives, they became a leader. And I think one of the big takeaways for the book is that you don't have to have a big job or a fancy title to be a leader. In fact, many of the leaders that we meet in our everyday lives don't. But they do make a difference in their lives. And so this is something that everyone can learn to do. No matter what our station in life, we can learn to be better at it, and we can be more fulfilled at work, be more effective at school and at home.
Does it take one to know one? Did you think you were a leader before this happened?
Well, people certainly have seen me that way. And so I felt an obligation to live up to the expectations, but it's something I've thought about. These ideas have been important to me throughout my life.
Interesting the way you lay it out. It's sort of with that question of, are leaders made or born? You clearly think they can be made. Tony La Russa says one of the primary leadership lessons that he teaches or teach ball players is that you can be the go-to guy, kind of like you were. And
I think he proved that by winning the World Series again. You know, it wasn't that there was one star that took him all the way through. So by being able to make that personal connection with his players, by very effectively creating this sense of team where everybody has that shared sense of responsibility for the outcome, you know, he proved how effective that can be.
Do you think that's harder these days? Because it feels like a lot of times we see these stories and people talk about how selfish we've all become. And yet the importance of team is what comes up again and again when you talk about a good leader.
And in my in-depth conversations with Tony, who's become a friend, and I've had great access to him. He actually lives near me. We talk about that sense of entitlement and how difficult it is for managers and coaches now to overcome all these distractions, all the get yours mentality.
Do you have a lot of new friends? Because I'm thinking, I bet everybody wants to be your friend. So,
you know,
did you have trouble getting people to do the book?
I got to say hi to Joe Torre just a little while ago.
Yes.
It is amazing to have the ability to have these in-depth conversations with people I've admired and respected for a long time. And I was able to select this really varied group in all walks of life who share these common traits.
Great to have you here, Sully. Congratulations, making a difference.